What's good, Chiefs Kingdom, and welcome back to the Water Boys channel. As today, it is Wednesday as I'm filming this, and that means it's time to dive into some prospects. We're going to dive into the defensive tackles, but before we do dive into this, please be sure to subscribe to the channel and like this video, as I will keep you up to date on anything Kansas City Chief related that you do not want to miss out on. So just tap that little button, subscribe, and make sure you're not missing out on anything. So as I mentioned, we're going to be diving into the defensive tackles. And if you look around Chiefs Kingdom, they might not think this is a need. Honestly, anywhere on this defensive side of the ball is a need. And people might think just because you have Chris Jones, you should be set and fine. But I look at it from this aspect is, if Chris Jones is underwhelming again next year, you might have to find his replacement. Or even better yet, how I view it is, have him find a good partner. He hasn't really had a great partner on the other end of him in that defensive line. So get two great defensive tackles, take some of that good run blocking, pass blocking off of him, those double teams, and let Chris Jones do his thing. And if not, let one of these prospects that I think could be interesting on this team just eat away at the single teams and just go after the quarterback, go after stuffing the run, and let's just run that way. I think defensive tackle is a bigger need than what a lot of people are perceiving it to be. So let's jump right into this list. And at number 5, I'm going to start with Perrion Winfrey. Now, a lot of people know him, and a lot of people, the way I would view him is he's explosive. He's a great run stuffer, and he knows how to get out after the quarterback. Good size, body-wise, very agile. He had a great Senior Bowl. It helped elevate his status. And also, I would like to, I think for a value pick here, I would like to get him at the end of round 2, which could be feasible, but I don't know. I wouldn't want to spend the 50th pick on him, but if you can get him at 62, I think that's great value. I think it's a great steal, and I think it's a great tandem if you add Winfrey and Jones together. Jones has proven, well, Winfrey's proven that he can eat up the single coverage blocks and get straight through, and he's good at stuffing the run. I think he would be a great tandem with Jones and just eat up those other blocks, and if not, if Jones is still eating those double teams, he'll be that other defensive tackle we've been looking for to actually succeed and help us in the run game or help us with additional pass rush. At number 4, this one's going to be quite surprising to me, but a lot of you guys who are into college might not be, and I'm going to even probably mess his name up too. I'm going to dive into Phidarian Mathis. My bad if I mispronounced your name. I'll just keep saying Mathis because I know that is correct, but man, seeing this guy, he is very explosive. He knows how to get out after the quarterback. He's lean, but he's big. And you could tell one thing he excels in is getting after the quarterback. And if you could just imagine a Chris Jones and then Mathis just both eating and going towards the quarterback. And like I said, my big takeaway from all of this is going to be trying to take away some of those double teams from Jones and have someone else eat them. Or if not, if he's going to keep eating those double teams, let a rook go after it. And why not in a guy like this who very explosive. He had 9 sacks last year, which is, I think, very good for a defensive tackle, even in a pro game, but in college doing it too. I think he's someone who's flying under the radar. I do not know his value that well, so I might be crazy, but if you could get him in the 3rd round, I think that's great value. I don't know if I go into the 2nd round with him just yet, and I know it could seem kind of contradicting myself because I have him rated higher than Winfrey. The reason I have that is because in the long run, I think he'd be a better fit for the Chiefs, but I wouldn't spend the type of value you would spend for Winfrey, if that makes sense what I'm getting at. If you could spend a 3rd on Mathis, I think that's an absolute steal than spending a 2nd for Winfrey. That's where I'm getting at with that one. Another guy, another defensive tackle who very lean, very explosive. You already know I'm just trying to get after the quarterback here and trying to have another partner for Chris Jones. Let's go with Logan Hall. He's very lean. Some may even think he looks more like an edge rusher than a defensive tackle, but he knows how to eat on the inside and he knows how to break those inside blocks too, which makes it very good. He excels in stopping the run, and his quarterback pressures and quarterback sacks may not exceed the likes of like a Mathis that I have, but he can cause pressures. And again, like I said, we're just looking for guys who can eat up those blocks and help Chris Jones out too. This isn't the tier where I think can replace Jones in the long run, but as well, if they're a partner, I think this is where it will exceed, and I think it will help out this team and this defensive line moving in the future. Now at number 2, it might shock a lot of people, and a lot of people might be like, man, he always goes this route with him. He doesn't take him in the mock drafts. Now he's kind of disrespecting them. It's nothing like that because I love his game. I love the type of player he is. It's Devontte Wyatt. I have him at number 2. What can you not like about him? He's a great run stopper. He knows how to get out the quarterback, cause pressure. He overwhelms the offensive line. It's like he eats up every block. It's someone that can partner Chris Jones very well, and if Chris Jones doesn't exceed, can end up replacing Chris Jones in the future at the defensive tackle. I think he would be a great pick in round 1. If he happens to fall in the mid-tier round 2 at our 50 pick, that's an absolute steal for Chiefs Kingdom to get a defensive tackle of his caliber. I think it's a great partnership, and also if you look long-term down the line, I think he could be a great defensive tackle as your number 1. But also, too, that would benefit Chris Jones, too. I think this is someone where you're not going to be second-guessing if it helps eat those double team for Jones. He is going to help. Like, you can't double team Jones no more on the inside because he'll just keep getting in your backfield, and that's something other teams don't want. And now you have 2 guys just in your backfield willingly. Yeah, it's going to be a problem if Chiefs Kingdom gets Devontte Wyatt. Now, my number 1 prospect at defensive tackle that I have is Travis Jones. And it's funny, I did have Devontte Wyatt up there, and if you want to do 1A, 1B, I think that fits very well in this aspect. But with me, Travis Jones's body is just a freak. He's big. Like, when I mean big, he is big. He's pushing like 6'5", almost 330. Like, that is like a huge human being that no one wants to go against. And the most impressive thing with him is, like, people that struggle blocking him, like, you're not going to find much tape on him, like on YouTube and things like that. But just look at his Senior Bowl. It seems like everybody he went up against, he ate them alive. And if he could bring that type of aspect to the Chiefs defensive line, again, he's another one where it's like, you don't have to worry about Chris Jones being double teamed no more, because they have to respect what Travis Jones is going to do, because you can't single team that boy. He going to eat up that man. So you better hope you have someone else on him, or he's going to be in your backfield 24/7 with Chris Jones. It's just, I might be too sold on the Senior Bowl tape, but I think it's really convincing, and I think he can be also on number 1 if Jones doesn't perform. But I think like a Devontte Wyatt or a Travis Jones, if you happen to get them on their line, you're going to see the Chris Jones of old, where he's just going to be disrespecting everybody on the line, disrespecting the running back, and then disrespecting the quarterback, and they're just going to be in the dirt all day. And it's going to be exciting to see. I know us as Chiefs Kingdom, we're like, damn, we need edge rushers to get to the quarterback. That is not the only way to get to the quarterback. These defensive tackles can do it also. Even when you dive into cornerbacks or safeties too, they can get to your quarterback too, because we know what Spags loves to do. He blitzes those guys. So find the guys that can get to the quarterback, and these are a few defensive tackles that I think can do it. But we're going to wrap this video up right now. Let me know in the comments down below. I tried to average this out between round 2 and 4. Let me know some sleepers that you guys have at defensive tackle. It is kind of a lighter defensive tackle draft. I could be wrong, but the way I'm viewing it, that's what it seems like. Let me know some sleepers in the comments. I will check them out. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel like I mentioned earlier on in the video. I'm going to keep you up to date on anything Kansas City Chief related that you do not want to miss out on. And oh yeah, give me that big thumbs up and like this video. I'm checking out. I will give you my mock draft on Friday. It'll be my personal one. It's going to be updated. We're going to have fun with it. Y'all take care.